Hey everyone, welcome to this week's FumblePuckPod. This week, we're going to have some more of the Neon knee-jerk reactions, lots of rants. Noah gets angry, which is super rare, but he did. The fumble of the week, the hottie of the week. We go around the league and talk about all the stuff that's been happening and so much more. Make sure to stay tuned. Welcome back to Season 1, Episode 2 of FumblePuckPod. This is Ashley, and I'm here with Noah. Hey, Noah, what's going on?
Hey, I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm okay. It's Sunday, so I keep doing that. It's day, and there's no Habs game to watch, so we can't lose tonight. So that's a plus, right?
Yeah, I actually didn't get to watch the game yesterday. I was stuck at work, and from the sounds of it, hallelujah, I didn't have to watch it.
Yeah, I'd be grateful. It was absolutely brutal, but whatever. That's you win some, you lose some. We just lose a lot lately, but it's okay. It's all good. So
Is it all good?
No, it's not. But it's coming up. You'll see what I'm talking about soon. We have a lot planned for tonight about that. So today, whatever time you're listening to this, we're good all hours of the day because it's a podcast. Anyways, whatever. So Noah, you do not live in Montreal. You live in
Ottawa.
Today it was absolutely freezing here. How was it there today?
Today was the first day that it was actually a little cold, but the past week has been warm. It's been great. I really feel like these are the death throes of winter. And if there's anything I need right now in my life as the world is upside down and weird, it's a little bit of sun, and it's the ability to kick back in the sun in my backyard.
Well, that's awesome because here it felt like minus, I don't even know, 20 today. It was freezing. It was not lovely. Yeah, it was nice other days, just not today.
Wednesday's supposed to go up to like 12 or something like that. It's like it should feel like a good spring week this week, hopefully.
I hope so. Fingers are crossed because that would be awesome. So I have a question for you and how you knew. You mentioned a few games to us in the last podcast that we should be listening. And
I rule.
So how?
So I made 4 predictions on our weekend primer one-timer, and I need to talk about how great those calls were. So the first one I talked about was Minnesota and Arizona on Friday. If you watched that game, you got to witness Kaprizov's very first hat trick. Great call, Noah. Thank you. It was amazing. Rah, rah, rah. Good call.
I bow down to you, buddy.
Oh, thank you. Next up, I talked about New York versus Boston, seeing if Panarin would be back. Panarin was back. He had an assist, and Boston got shut out. Awesome game to watch. Lots of fun. I don't know if you got to check that out. It was a noon game, but it was fun. It was good, and it was Halak in nets, I think. So, sorry, buddy, you're gone.
Yeah.
And then the next up was Winnipeg Toronto Saturday night. I don't know why you'd watch the game unless it's to boo the Leafs, but if that's what you were doing, you got your money's worth out of it because Winnipeg won handily. The downside to it is they create some space in the standings against us, but oh my God, I love watching Toronto get shellacked, and they got shellacked. And as we're recording this, the LA-Colorado game wrapped up not too long ago, and it saw Colorado hit 40 shots on goal, smoke LA 4-1, Philip Grubauer playing at Vezina level again, as I said. And the cool thing is that this was the very first multi-point game for Dan Renouf. Who? I know. So he's like this 26-year-old rookie on the team. He's a defenseman. He played one NHL game like 5 years ago, has been in the minors since, got called up, and now he's with the team. It's a cool little success story.
How do you spell Renouf? R-A-N-U-F-F? Renouf? No.
R-E-N-O-U-F. He's from like Ajax or Pickering or something like that. He's an Ontario guy, like 26-year-old rookie, undrafted, went to University of Maine, I believe it was. Detroit signed him. He played with the Grand Rapids Griffins, got a game out of them, and then was kind of like gone from the NHL for 5 years in the minors. And he got a call up, earned his spot, and you always cheer for people, and that was cool.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from Pickering. You were right. Good for him.
I thought it was something like that. I looked it up a couple of days ago because the name popped up weird, and then he just happened to have a multi-point game. So, hey.
Well, good job, Dan Renouf. In case you ever hear this, we're proud of you.
We're proud of you.
Kudos, bud. Okay, so last night you were fortunate and didn't have to watch that thing, the game, which I suffered through. So, yeah. Lovely. Do you want to start with the neon knee-jerk reactions that I don't know what's coming at me? I'm a little bit nervous.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I've got 5 of them ready to go. I'm going to shoot from the hip, and I want the first thing that comes to mind when I say these names. Okay.
Okay.
The first one's an easy one.
Okay.
Victor Mete. Go.
Yeah.
Qualify that sound you made. What does that mean?
Sorry, Victor and your family. He's not playing like an NHL defenseman. He can skate like the wind, but he can't do anything else. So there's no defending, there's no shooting anywhere near the target anyways. I'm not loving it. I'm really sorry, Victor. Don't hate me. I'm really sweet, I swear. I'm sorry. I don't like your game right now. Maybe it's the confidence. I don't know, but not a fan. Him and Kulak together. Oh, God.
I hear it was brutal. Twitter went nuts. Like, Twitter was very aggressive last night in regards to this game. So Mete did not get a lot of love.
I can't. Even him, like, oh, God. I mean, the whole team stunk last night, but, like, oh.
I'm a little annoyed because I predicted a Victor Mete goal in my spicy take there, and he disappointed me. So I took it personally.
I predicted a trade, so maybe that'll be fired instead. But so far, zilch.
There's no one left to fire. Except
UB. Zamboni driver.
I've got my next one for you. Are you ready for this one? Craig Button.
Riverdale. Woo! Oh, we both went to Riverdale. That's like my proud achievement there. Craig Button. You know what? I did not love his commentary during the game. He's usually pretty fair about the Habs, but I found him a little bit like too much pro. Was it Vancouver or Calgary? I don't remember.
Calgary. It's because he used to be the GM there. He's like a total Calgary homer now.
Oh, right. Okay, well, I forgot about that, and that makes so much more sense. I really do like Craig Button, though. Hey, Craig, if you're listening, sorry, Victor Mete's family again. I really do like Craig Button. I think he knows his stuff. He's a Habs fan, too, because he grew up here and went to Riverdale, RHS, reach higher and succeed. But I think I like Craig Button. I really do. I enjoy when he does the games, just not the Calgary games, apparently, because brutal. He did the Vancouver games too, didn't he?
Very possibly. He's on the West Coast, I think, right now, right? But he's the guy. When he was GM, I believe he's the guy who hired Daryl Sutter the first time, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like, he was probably having like a celebration, popping champagne, like cheering for that.
That makes sense because they showed a picture of him, and I was like, "Hey, there's Craig Button with really dark hair." And then I was like, "Huh, that makes sense."
Yeah, like 20 years later, he gets like "I told you, Daryl Sutter was good," you know?
Redemption, 20-year redemption.
Okay, third up, this is good. You ready for it?
The
Canadian division.
Ugh, gross.
Awful.
What did he say? Sorry.
Gross. I hate it.
Oh, it's so bad. It's enough. And they're like talking about continuing it. I'm like, no, it's horrible. I never wanted it though. I'm going to be honest. I was never one of the people who wanted it. I don't like the idea of playing an all Canadian team. There's no point for that. Who cares? I mean, I understand because of COVID and that's the only way they can play. I'm for it. But no, I am so tired of seeing the same 6 teams over and over. And it's not fair. We have McDavid and Draisaitl. We have Matthews and Marner and whoever else you want to throw in from Toronto. We
Zach
have
Hyman.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Fantasy hockey pool stud.
Yeah, no, and we have like Elias Pettersson, but like we have all. I mean, besides Crosby and Malkin, and McKinnon, we have like all the scorers in our division. It's ridiculous. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I think you and I were both on the train of not liking this division, and it's been reinforced more and more every single day that's gone by. I'm just not a fan of it. I miss watching games against, like, I know they kicked our asses last year, but sorry, pardon my language there, but the Detroit Red Wings, you know? Oh my God.
You meant to say Detroit because I was going to laugh at you, but I know I miss playing Boston. I miss playing like Washington and Pittsburgh and the other teams. I don't like this at all. This is way too incestuous.
Yeah, and the timing of it sucks too. I mean, they did the reverse retro jersey specifically to generate some revenue during COVID, so like I'm not going to be too upset about it. But all the cool jerseys that are out there this year, you don't get to see them against Montreal. There's no chance, right? You're just sticking within your division. And we like the Toronto reverse retros. Get out of here! Get out of here!
Can we burn our reverse retros? You can't win in them. So
they're gorgeous. They just haven't won a game yet, but they're absolutely gorgeous. Vancouver suck. Edmonton's are whatever. They're okay. They're cool. Calgary's grew on me. Like I thought they were stupid when I first saw them, but then they grew on me over the like week afterwards. Ottawa's are bomb. They're so gorgeous. I just think Ottawa killed the Jersey game this year. I never give them props for anything, but they definitely killed the Jersey game this year.
Didn't Calgary wear theirs against Stars like 2 nights ago?
Yep.
And they're the black jerseys, right? They're beautiful. I don't know what that dragon thing is, but it's
a horse.
It's a horse? Really?
It's a horse, yeah. Like, remember they used to have the horse logo on their, like, that's their old, like, shoulder crest.
Oh, his name is Blasty.
Yes, that is correct.
Oh, I thought it was a dragon. Well, he has fire coming out of his nose, so he could be a dragon.
He was, like, half dragon. His grandmother was a dragon.
What?
I don't know.
Okay, I see. I get it.
Okay, next up, Milan Lucic.
Blech. Yuck. Bruin for life. Gross. Hitting. He played with McDavid, which is so weird to me. Not a fan, and don't like fighting Lucic. And no, not a fan of the Luch. Not a fan at all.
Wouldn't want to Milan Lucic is intimidating.
Sorry, do I think he is?
Yeah.
No.
Huh?
Yes. Now, no.
Yeah, like he's just like a guy now. Like, remember Big Bad Milan Lucic that Dale Weiss had to like go up against?
Yes.
This guy on the Calgary Flames is like just doesn't seem like that guy, you know?
Yeah, I agree. And on the Edmonton too, he wasn't really that much like him as much as he was back in Boston. In Boston, he was like Big Bad Milan Lucic, and now he's like, "Hello, I'm not." No.
Yeah.
Not as impressed.
Okay, and last but not least, we're going outside of the Habs games. I'm throwing this one in your direction. Jake Gardiner.
Thank God we didn't get him. Oh, thank God. And he was on waivers, and I was like so happy he went unclaimed because I really don't want him. And considering we need defensive help ASAP, I'm really happy he didn't take him. But you know who is on waivers today?
Who?
Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson. So here's the game plan, everybody. We're going to put in a claim for Jack Johnson on waivers, and that's going to be our ticket to Sidney Crosby.
I'm down.
Yes, please.
Down. Totally down for that. That'd be amazing. So I saw someone post that, the Rangers put him on waivers today. And Backus is back on waivers.
Is he playing?
He's in Anaheim, apparently.
Yeah, but is he actually playing games? I don't know why, but for some reason I feel like he was like dead and not able to play.
I have absolutely no idea. I just know that he was definitely put on waivers.
Damn.
So I don't know. Okay, he played 10 games in Anaheim this season. He has 2 goals.
Interesting. I have mixed feelings about David Backus. I always liked him in St. Louis. When he went to Boston, obviously I started hating him because that's our job. We get paid to hate the Bruins. But like I never hated the guy. It was just like a team affiliation hatred. So like I always kind of wished well for him. I was really upset when he went down to injury. Remember when he took out what's his name? Was it Scott Sabourin? Who did he knock out? And like he cried afterwards. He felt so bad about hitting the guy.
I have absolutely no idea.
I think it was Scott Sabourin, but I felt so like he cried, like he was legitimately in tears over injuring the guy. I was like, that's a cool moment. You don't expect that, you know?
Yeah, no, I like it when they actually show like emotion. And
oh my God, do you remember the Pat Maroon showing emotion?
No,
I'm so off track here, but like it was when Pat Maroon played when he played for Edmonton or when he's still with St. Louis or Anaheim. I don't know. They might have been with Anaheim. But they were talking to him. They were interviewing him. And he was like, yeah, it's really hard being on the road. You know, I haven't seen my kids in a while. And like he broke down and started crying in the interview because he missed his kids. And he's like, I just love my kids. And it was this really like human, heartfelt moment. And NHL players are so rare to show that. That was like an instant I love Pat Maroon moment. And I've been a fan ever since.
Well, he's great. He's on the Lightning. Still like him?
Oh, God damn it.
It was Scott Sabourin. You were right.
Yeah? Okay.
You know,
yeah, Backus was like broken over it. Yeah, I'm a vault of useless information.
I love it. It's great. It's absolutely great. It's almost as cool as the guy who works for Jeopardy that I know. He's a vault of useless information, but it's awesome. Anyways, alrighty, let's go on to the big ticket talk this week, which is all about the Habs. So, question. You didn't watch the game last night.
No.
You're super lucky. You read about the game last night.
Correct.
You watched the games this past week, besides last night's.
I did.
Okay, so the Habs system is predicated on effort. What do you think about that? Is that good enough to get the job done or no?
Oh my God. I went into the season really hopeful. I really liked the move they make. I think like the Toffoli, the Anderson. I think I called it the death by 1,000 cuts plan. Right. I'm not. I don't know if I'm feeling it right now. I think we're seeing the same problems. I really am not the kind of person to pour gasoline on a fire. I'm not the kind of person to overreact and freak out, but it's hard to have watched the games this week and not be concerned about it, you know?
Okay, so what are your biggest concerns? Do you think a trade could help staff, ignoring that we have to wait 14 days possibly for this guy to play? Do you think more firings are needed, like Yuppie, the Zamboni driver, maybe Molson? I don't know. I don't think he'd fire himself, but whatever. If he did, that'd be kind of weird. What do you think this team needs to deal and face this adversity that they're going through? Because they have been absolutely brutal. Do you think it was the coaches? Do you think maybe Muller and Julien were right, that it wasn't them?
So I don't know if I think it's Muller and Julien. I definitely think they're missing a little bit of Julien's 5-on-5 fire. But again, I think it's hard to get to this point in the season and not start wondering if the roster is the problem. And if the roster is the problem, you have to look at the GM, right? We're at the point now, how do I say this without freaking out? Like, I want to just start yelling into my mic, but it's like, if the game plan requires every single person on the team to be at 110% all the time, it's unsustainable. It's not going to work, right? It can't happen. And we looked at the start of the season when we were on fire. Everybody was firing on all cylinders. It was good. We were worried about being able to carry that intense momentum through the season. The argument was that 4 lines doing that should balance it out. People get the rest. People get their ice time eased, right? Well, how do you not show up for 3 games in a row and call it a day, right? It doesn't make sense. And then we talk about the team leadership. How do you allow your team to not show up like that, right? So there's all kinds of stuff to it. I think if right now you're looking at, there's no way in hell we miss the playoffs and Marc Bergevin's still the GM. It doesn't make sense. He's got the craziest job security in the world, so maybe I'm the crazy one here. But this team as constructed right now is not giving us the confidence we had a month ago. I think that something needs to change. And I think it comes back to the same thing we've been talking about for a couple of years. We need that one person who doesn't need to give 110% in order to put the puck in the freaking net. We need a superstar. We need a game breaker. We need someone who can be that person.
So how are we going to get that stuff? I agree with you. I think we need talent. I think we lack offensive, obviously. But we also, if you look at, again, Eichel, McDavid, Crosby, Malkin, any you can go anywhere in the world that you want, any team, a lot of them have a superstar. We have Cole Caulfield coming up. He's not a superstar yet. We don't know what he's going to be. He's a prospect. Let's take a break on him. We can't expect him to come in and score 40 goals a la DeBrincat. We can't do that. But who can we get, actually get, do you think? I mean, realistically, not in Ashley land, which I like to live in, but realistically, who is somebody that's a superstar that we can actually get who's not injured for 8 weeks in Buffalo, quote unquote injured? Yes. No, I'm kidding. I wish you all the best, Eichel, with your neck problem. But yes.
Well, that's the thing. If you look at the standings right now, the teams that are at the bottom of the standings, with the exception of Buffalo, none of them really have that game-breaking superstar. We're not looking at, and they're not even bottom feeders, but we're not looking at a Phil Kessel ad, right? That's not what we need. We're looking at a Jack Eichel. We want kind of a franchise player, right? We need someone who is a star, not just by the way they carry themselves like Shea Weber. We need a leader who can say, I'm going to strap the team on my back and go and freaking do it. We need Alex Kovalev without his helmet on is what we need.
Is he still playing? We could use you. Hey, Ottawa beat Toronto tonight.
Nice. Kovalev is coaching, I think, now, isn't he?
Well, can he still skate? Because I'll take him.
I don't know, but apparently his son is really good at hockey already. He's young-ish. He's like a 10 or something like that, I want to say. But apparently there are videos of him being really good at hockey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he named Alex Kovalev Jr.? Nope.
I have no clue.
I'm Googling it.
I miss Kovalev. I miss Kovalev so much.
He was so good. His name is Nikita.
Nikita Kovalev. I dig it. Future draft pick. Future Montreal Canadian.
Are you listening to us, Trevor Timmons?
Is this team good enough?
No.
We were we're the second best team in this division, maybe the best. Suck it, Toronto. We're gonna battle it out for first. We're not battling it out for first. We're fighting for the last playoff spot. It's hard to not be disappointed. And again, I'm there's a limit to pouring gasoline and freaking out and some hyperbole on this. But if you're not concerned about the end result watching this, I don't know what to say.
I agree. P.S. His son's 18.
Oh, draft eligible this year. Or last year in that case?
I don't know. He's 5'9" and 165 pounds. May 2020.
he's built to be a Hab. That's it.
Maybe. But yeah, his name. Yeah, no, same person. Yeah, no. Anyway, so he's 19. Anyways, 18. Sorry.
You know what the one thing Marc Bergevin has never done is?
Traded a first-round pick.
Good point. I was going to say, you are absolutely correct. I was going to say acquire a game-breaking player. Like a Brian Burke style trade, right?
Absolutely.
Like if there was ever a time to do it, you have the opportunity to add a crazy good player. I think this is like his moment to shine. And the thing about it is, if I'm Marc Bergevin, this is the key to it right now. If you're assuming Marc Bergevin is operating to not get fired, right? As part of his job in general, he's like, I don't want to do anything that'll get me fired. That's normal. That's human. So many other things have happened this season. You have coaching changes. You have roster changes. You have COVID-19. You have quarantine rules. If he makes the big ticket trade, the big deal, and it doesn't pan out right away, like something happens this year, he has some deniability. He can say it's not the end of the world. It wasn't the fact this trade didn't sink us. It was everything else around. So if I'm Marc Bergevin, I have a little bit of shield from some consequences because of all the rest of it. Bang, go for it. Make a crazy deal for a Jack Eichel. I don't care.
I agree with you. I think the same thing. However, I think he's going to have to swing for the fences. Like, it's go big or go home time. He doesn't have much of a choice. I mean, this is probably his last chance. Let's be honest. Like, how long can you not make the playoffs? We only made it by fluke last year. I agree with you. I think this is kind of it. But then again, comes the 14-day quarantine. So they're trying to change it to 7 days. And they're saying if players get vaccinated, can it then be 7 days? And so far, Canada's saying no, but who knows? This can change tomorrow. What do you think they're going to do? Are they going to make a trade deadline deal? Or is it just going to be like, I gave you what I can? And I mean, I think I agree. We need a game breaker, 100%. But what's he going to do? We also need defensemen.
Yeah, we're cap straps, right? Like right now, so any deal has to be money in, money out. You have to get creative. So if you're going to go for a big name that's making, 5+ to 10+, whatever it is, you have to assume you're getting rid of players off your roster. You have to assume that a Danoa Tatar kind of thing is going the other way. So
sign me up. Yeah.
Right. But then what does your roster look like for that 14-day period? I think that's an opportunity. Again, like if Bergevin is looking for cover to make this move, even if it means they might miss the playoffs this year and get there next year, I think he should still at least think about it, right? Like as unconscionable as missing the playoffs would be, you can blame it on the 14-day quarantine, sure, and it gives you a little bit of cover. You still go for it. You still do it. Like if Buffalo's that bad, could we put something together to get Jack Eichel? He's a Habs fan. Like he would want to play here. It's one of the rare times where a superstar wants to be a Hab. There's a possibility for it. So like, man, everything on the table, chips in the middle of the table. The only person I wouldn't trade to make that happen is Cole Caulfield. Anyone else can go.
Nick Suzuki?
100%. Wouldn't even think twice.
We kind of need Nick Suzuki. He's our second center, especially if Dano's going with him.
Who's our first center?
Kotkaniemi.
So then Kotkaniemi becomes your second center. Eichel's now your first center. Problem solved. Wham, bam.
No, that's true. That is true. Well, maybe Marc Bergevin is listening to this. Hi, Mark. And please get us Eichel, even though he's out for the next 8 weeks with an apparent injury. So we'll see. But I don't think this team is good enough either. I completely agree with you. I think we're pretty middle of the pack, and we need a game breaker. That's all there is to it. We need a game breaking talent, and we've needed it for years.
And you know me, I'm like the relentless optimist about the Habs. Like I'm really good at enjoying the game. When I'm annoyed, it's bad.
Yeah, and you're annoyed. I know you are. And you didn't even watch last night's game, so I'm a little bit jealous because, again, I did.
I live vicariously through our Twitter community because they're wonderful and they fill up my tank of emotion, and their energy was palpable. Like the rage was palpable. You could feel it. So I piggybacked off their energy, and I'm feeling a little annoyed too. So I love you, Twitter fans.
Me too. And if you have any comments about this, guys, feel free to tweet us, or we're on Instagram, Facebook. We're everywhere. You can't get away from us.
Yeah, we actually loved. We got our first question on the last pod on the weekend one-timer, and it was fun. It's cool. Like when we're not hockey pros, but we love the idea the chance to engage and have a good time chatting. So yeah, by all means, everyone send us questions
at FumblePuckPod on all platforms. Awesome. Okay, I have some questions for you. More about the Habs. Is Brendan Gallagher the league's smallest power forward?
I think so, right? You know, like when you're like looking at the way they classify players, like sniper, playmaker, two-way forward. Like Gallagher usually gets called a two-way forward because he's defensively good, but like his goals come from relentless shots on net, driving the net hard. He does have that like Francis Bouillon fire hydrant kind of body. Like he might be the tiniest power, like the little power forward that could. I don't know. It looks like it. He's not a pure sniper. He's not a pure two-way forward.
Should we call him Thomas?
I like it.
Okay, next. I agree with you. I think he is. He's the whole definition. Just he's like 5'6", but that's okay. How do you get your team back into a game when they're out of it?
Oh my God! You know who I'm asking that question to? Shea Weber.
I was going to say Weber.
Yeah, right. Like we talk about this all the time. One of the things that Shea Weber's contract is supposed to include, one of the components of his salary cap, is leadership. What's the key to getting your like if we're not going to start off hot, if we're not going to give it, at what point in time how do you light a fire under them to get them going, right? I think he should know this. He should have some sense of it. That's why there's a C on his jersey, right? I'm asking him that question.
I think he needs to figure it out and do it quickly because the team is clearly not getting back into the games lately. They're just
maybe he just takes someone out back and beats them, you know?
No, no.
I don't know. He's intimidating. Like Milan Lucic is not intimidating anymore. Shea Weber is still intimidating at his age. I would love to see him punch someone on his own team just to get him to play harder.
Oh my God. No. Oh my God.
I don't know. Like, I don't normally freak out when games have bad effort, but 3 bad effort games in a row, like 3 out of 4. What's going on? How do you not wake up for this, you know?
Yeah, you hate fighting. You want Weber to punch someone on our own team.
I hate fighting in hockey, and I want Shea Weber to punch someone. This is how weird the week has been.
That's how bad this is. Oh my God.
Hey, do you want a weird fact, actually? Like, if we're on, like, little segue? They were announcing some Grammys today, right?
Yeah.
Ice-T, the rapper, SVU legend, and like I love Ice-T. He just won a Grammy for best heavy metal performance.
What? He's
got a heavy metal band. They've been around for like 20 years called Body Count, and they won a Grammy. Isn't that hilarious?
That's so random.
That's so 2021.
It is. I was actually at my mom's house today, and she was watching that show, and I saw him. And I called him Ice Cube. My bad. And then I was like, no, it's Ice-T. Wrong one.
Yeah, not the same.
No, I know. All right. So back to the Habs, which is a lot. Well, it's more depressing than the Grammys. But what's her face? Ivy. Is it Ivy? Is Beyonce's daughter's name? Yes. Right.
Who?
Beyonce. No. Blue.
I don't know. Ivy's my daughter's name.
No, I know it. I know that. But her daughter and her won a Grammy today also.
Oh wow!
She becomes the youngest person ever to win a Grammy.
That sounds like some nepotism.
It's Blue Ivy Carter. I'm not crazy. Her name is Ivy. Look at that.
Ivy, great name. Great name.
Blue, well, her name's Blue, but Blue Ivy Carter. Yes, that was right. She won a Grammy today as well. Anyways, okay, cool. Okay, back to Habs. So, Victor Mete, what's your thoughts on him when I get into this question? Go.
I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I think if the problem we're having right now is finishing talent and effort, he puts a little bit of effort in, but it's hard to look at him when he's asking for a trade, rumor has it, right? And be like, this is the guy who's going to be the savior. I think if you're looking for effort, how do you not want to try out Cale Fleury with some fire, right?
Well, that's exactly
he's itching to get in.
Sorry?
He's probably itching to get in.
Yeah, and I think Cale Fleury is great. I would love to see Cale come up and take over for Mete. And Kulak. We need to replace Kulak, too. Or put Kulak back with Jeff. Jeff fixes everything. Oh, Jeff.
He scored again.
He did.
He's great.
He's so good. Like Edmonton.
So my dad texted me during the game, and I was at work, so I wasn't like paying attention. And he was like, the Habs are sucking tonight. I was like, what's the score? He's like, the score is 3-1 or whatever it was. I was like, oh, who scored the one goal? I really hope it's Jeff Petrie. And he's like, it was Jeff Petrie. And my face just lit up. I was at work and I had like a dumb smile on my face being like, ha, 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 no matter what happens, Jeff Petrie wins.
MVP Petrie. He's great.
So good. So good. Norris Trophy. Close the voting. I'd like to thank everybody who lost.
Is his middle name really Norris, by the way?
Without fact checking, I'm going to say yes because it would fit the narrative too well. Probably not, but we're going to say yes.
No, but on Wikipedia, which you can never trust, it says his middle name is really Jeff Norris Petrie.
Yeah, it probably says he's also like a Canadian bear fighter underneath.
I'm not sure, but I don't know. I keep hearing that his real middle name is Norris, but I don't know if it's true. If you look on Wikipedia, it's still there, so I have no idea who put that in. But anyways, whatever. Not important. All right. And here's a short message from our sponsor.
Hey, coaches. Ever had a close game played at 5-on-5 and you just felt it slipping away? Well, have we got the fix for you? It's a patented secret called throw a sixth man out there. More passing options, better blue line coverage. Why not? Sixth man out there, guaranteed to work every time. Side effects may include a too many men on the ice penalty.
And we're back. I hope you enjoyed our message from our sponsor. So, Noah, we have a new segment here. It's called WWAD and WWND, which is what would Ashley do? What would Noah do? So, Noah, you're the GM and the coach this week. What would you do?
Trade.
Who? For what?
I want to shake up this team. I want a little something different. I know the team's got this good, tight-knit chemistry, but something needs to happen to wake them up a little bit. No one can be comfortable right now. They talked about accountability. I don't know. I think you need to throw a grenade into that room like they did in Minnesota and just get wild, right? I'm of the opinion there's no one on this team that's untouchable. Anyone can go. If it adds the right element, go for it, right?
Yep.
I really want to see something exciting. I want to see a big, it's not just like a Matthias Ekholm trade, because I think that would be great. I want to see someone who could put the freaking puck in the net.
So Matthias Ekholm and Forsberg is what you're saying.
Oh my God. I don't know. I don't know if Forsberg would fit our style. I don't think he's quite a game breaker.
No.
But I take him on my team.
I'm trying to think who's available that's out there.
We look at the standings right now, and they're not very kind. So we're obviously not trading within our division because that would be dumb. And
the real division,
what's happening is Calgary, if they're out, but they're not out, they're fighting for it, right? So no Johnny Gaudreau. Buffalo's definitely in there. But Eric Stahl would never play in Montreal, and Jack Eichel, I can talk about that for days. I have all the time in the world to talk about potential Jack Eichel trades, but I won't right now, even though I'd trade the farm for him.
Minus Cole Caulfield.
Literally. So if it was Nick Suzuki, Alex Romanov, and a first round pick, I would do it.
Especially this year, right? With the draft being such an unknown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? It gives an opportunity. I give him a first and 2 seconds and 3/3. I don't care. I'd give Nick Suzuki and 2 first-round picks. I don't care. And I think Nick Suzuki's got a lot of talent and potential. I think as a rule of thumb, when you're making a trade in the NHL, whoever gets the best player wins that trade. When does it ever happen where you get the best player and you lost the trade? It just doesn't. So I think it would be hard to pry that Eichel out of Buffalo. But if Buffalo's about to go into a rebuild right now, which they should because they stink, right? Is Eichel going to be a part of that? He's 24 years old. So you're going to take 3 years to rebuild. He's going to be 27. He'll be making $14 million a year. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? There's nothing.
I agree.
And then Detroit's down there. So Anthony Mantha's not going anywhere. He's a good part of that rebuild. Anaheim, they got nothing. San Jose, nope. Arizona, I'll take Phil Kessel off your hands if you retain half and I give you a second round pick.
How about New Jersey?
You're talking about Kyle Palmieri?
No.
Because I'm not.
No, I'm definitely not. But isn't Hughes there?
Yeah, but they're not trading Jack Hughes. And I wouldn't trust Jack Hughes. I'm not sold on him yet. But either way, if you're Jersey, you're looking at Hischier and Hughes as your 1-2 punch. You're content to let Hughes develop and grow and become that guy, right? Or maybe become that guy. I think it would cost a lot to trade him, and I don't want a player that has a risk involved. The reason why I like Jack Eichel is he's a known commodity. And I know he's a high-end kind of crazy trade idea, but Jack Hughes still has so many X's and O's and unknowns to his game. I wouldn't be comfortable. I want a bona fide scoring player.
I agree. That's what we need, 100%. Okay, cool. All right. So that was it for what would Noah do. So
that was like a rant. I went on a good rant.
That's fine. That's what this is for.
We should skip our rant segment, and that was the rant.
Okay, perfect. Done. All right. So Noah, take us around the league and what's happening around the league right now.
Yeah. Okay. A couple of things to talk about. What have I got here? Nikita Kucherov. It first was made known to me on Twitter. Rachel Dory tweeted it out. I don't know if anyone follows Rachel Dory. She's awesome. She's got her own podcast, the Staffing Graph podcast. Really good stuff to listen to anyways. But she was talking about how Nikita Kucherov was back skating, and he was on the ice for a full hour after practice ended, doing most of the practice, yet he's not projected to be back for weeks. So obviously this came up again. Is Nikita Kucherov not really that hurt? Are they kind of milking that in order to save salary cap space? You and I both thought this was bull crap when it first happened, but It seems like Nikita Kucherov might be a little Stefan Robidas right now.
I also was like, what kind of bullshit is this? Don't like it. Don't agree with it. There should not be okay. Imagine if the Leafs were doing this with like Matthews. Oh my God, I would have a fit. But
they'd freak out. We'd all freak out, rightfully so, right? But like the crazy thing is Kucherov's out and they're still in like first place in their division. They're still destroying the league without him, right? Like if they can just wait till the cap is cleared, like after the trade deadline, and bring him back, I'd be really pissed. I know it's within the rules. They're not technically breaking any rules, but if the rules are stupid, you can still be mad about it.
I agree, and I don't think it's fair. I think the league should intervene and do something about it. It's not fair. Come on. Like he needs another 8 weeks to come back, please.
Yeah, like, come on, right?
Yeah.
Although I did draft him in my hockey pool this year, so he was dropped as a franchise player because of the injury. And I drafted him in like the 4th round, and everyone's like, he's not playing this year. And I was like, I know, but I'm going to keep him for next year. So I felt pretty smart about it.
Very smart. I'm impressed. Good job.
What else is going on? So Kucherov's injury is for cap issues and it's fake, maybe. We don't know. But is Jack Eichel's injury because he can't bear the thought of playing in Buffalo ever again? I'm going to start that rumor. Spread it around the league. Jack Eichel wants out of Buffalo. Cool. There you go.
I had that thought too, but apparently it's his neck, so I don't know.
ESPN and the NHL signed a deal, $2.8 billion. That's awesome. All we need to know about that right now, ESPN has good coverage for the most part. I know they haven't done hockey in a while, but they do good stuff. But the important thing is that will help an influx of cash, which will help get the salary cap going back up, which makes everybody's life a little easier and helps us be a little more competitive. So that's good.
They said something about how the salary cap is going to be flat for the next 4 years, though. I think that's what Bettman was saying last week. Is that accurate?
That's very likely. And then last but not least, going around the league, I want to call the Toronto Sports Network, TSN, dumb for just 10 seconds. Because going into the game yesterday, Winnipeg-Toronto, TSN's headline was, with Hellebuck out, Anderson can seize the spotlight. And it was like this fluff piece. But he wrote this fluff piece about Freddie Anderson getting an opportunity to really shine. And, you know, like, this is his opportunity. He's been sub 900 since he's gotten back from injury. He's been garbage. Why are you making that your headline? Is that all you could find to talk about before a game? Oh, come on, Toronto Sports Network. That sucked.
What do we call Sportsnet then? They're pretty much the Toronto Sports Network too. So what do we call them? Do we call them the sports?
I don't know. I do have a really big soft spot in my heart for Jeff Marek and Elliot Friedman. Like I adore them. I think they're fun to listen to. So I like Sportsnet a little bit more for their like panelists, but they're total Toronto homers. Absolutely, every single one of them.
It drives me crazy. I hate the homerism, and it's funny. Toronto was complaining during, I think it was against the Canucks, maybe, how they weren't getting like the fair calls and how the whole broadcast was pro whoever they were playing, and I'm like, really? Try being a Habs fan. It's always the Habs, and whoever the hell they're playing is better than us. Doesn't matter who it is. It could be like the last place Detroit team last year. They didn't care. We sucked. They didn't even cover. But even last night on the against the Flames, the only Hab they mentioned was Price when he's made a save, and Danault and how Danault was injured. That's all they talked about the whole game.
Ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. They really need to step up their announcing game too. But anyways, okay. Top 3, bottom 3. I have 1 top, 1 bottom. Noah, you have 3. Go for it.
Am I going first? Yeah.
Well, I can give you mine first if you want.
Go for it.
All right, we're gonna change the name of this. We're just still in the process of figuring out what it is. So, my top player of the week. I don't think I have one, but my bottom player of the week would be the entire team.
Who is your bottom player?
The whole entire team organization of the Montreal Canadiens. Yes, they were that bad. They are the bottom team of the week. That
is spectacular. That's intense. I felt the fire of that.
Well, yeah, that's how aggravated I am that I watched those games. Even the 11 o'clock one. That was a very late game. Yeah. Who are your top 3, bottom 3?
Okay, top 3 are very good, very straightforward. Number 1, I wanted to shout out Artemi Panarin. I've always been a huge Panarin fan. Seeing him back in action is great. If the New York Rangers tank their rebuild plan and you need someone to take a big salary off your hands, you give me a call. Love seeing him back in action. I love how he drives play like a center, even though he's a winger. He's fun to watch. Welcome back to the NHL, Artemi Panarin. We're happy to have you. Number 2, I have no choice. I wasn't going to, but I have no choice. It's Jeff Petrie. You're a rock star. I'm excited to see you win your first Norris, and I'm not making that up. There's no hyperbole in that. You're the best player on planet Earth right now. Probably no.
there was actually somebody on Twitter today who was saying how Jeff Petrie is one of the top 5 in the North Division, and someone's like,
"What?"
Yeah. So someone was like, and it was like a verified account. And someone was like, "You mean?" Oh, because it was after. It was at what's his face's tweet. It was I like him, Pierre LeBrun's tweet about how the Habs are getting such a saving with him and how amazing he is. And then somebody tweet back saying, "Yeah, he'd be like the top 5 in the North." And someone's like, "You mean top 5? Period, top of the North?" And then he was like, "No, I put these people ahead of him," and named like Quinn Hughes and a bunch of other people ahead of him. And
I have time for that argument with Quinn Hughes, but no, Petrie's outperforming him. Who else is going to pick? Mark Giordano? Get out of here. Morgan Riley?
It was not even Riley. He mentioned Muzzin.
Get out of here. Or just go home, clean out your desk. You're fired.
And who's your last top 3 of the week?
I did so just to spite whoever that person was, because they're probably a Toronto fan. I chose Jason Robertson from the Dallas Stars for 6 points in the last 7 days. And yeah, he hasn't been great the last couple of games, but he had 6 points in 7 days. How many points did Nick Robertson have? Ooh, Big brother doing better. Sorry.
I love it. All right, who's your bottom 3 of the week?
Okay, bottom 3 is whoever invented the NHL's mask policy for coaches. What are you doing?
Oh my God.
Does anyone in the NHL know how to wear a mask properly?
I think they should start implementing penalties to the team when the coach's mask isn't on properly.
Yeah, or like if there could be like if the PA announcer or like the guy who plays the organ can make like a shameful noise every time it happens, just so like everyone knows to look at the coach and call him an idiot.
Well, that would be the entire game if you're playing the Flames, because I don't think Daryl Sutter understands what a mask is.
Yeah, he had no clue. And Dom Ducharme was really bad at it too, like really bad at it.
Yeah, I know. And so was Burrow. None of them were, oh my God, it's driving me crazy.
They're terrible.
But not hard. Don't take it off to yell at anybody. That defeats the purpose, number 1.
Right? That makes it worse.
Yeah.
It's like taking off your mask to sneeze into the air. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan. Okay.
Number 2, speaking of things that are just like getting thrown into the air, money towards Jordan Binnington. 6 years, $6 million for a guy who's not that good. St. Louis, big fan of yours. Good luck. That's like we already talk about overpaid goalies all the time. Are you trying to tell me that you're going to invest in Jordan Binnington the same amount that Winnipeg's investing in Connor Hellebuck and you're expecting the same result? Oh my God. And like, we know all about goaltenders making a lot of money. We know.
Yes, we do. We're the king of it. Yes, we do.
We know it when we see it. I'm looking at you, Jordan Binnington. And then my third, I got it from a Marc-Antoine Guedet article on the Athletic because he's great. It's Claude Julien. I'm mad at him right now because one of the outgoing quotes he had that Marc-Antoine Guedet was sharing, he said, well, we're going to end up having more coaches than players when asked about skills coaches. And that goes back to our talk last week. So what? Who cares if you have one coach per player if you can afford it and it gives you an edge? The idea that, I don't want to have too much staff because it might be crowded. If it helps you win, what are you talking about? So like, that's not why he got fired. But if that's your opinion, I don't want to add too many resources to my team because it might get crowded and winning might cost money. So what? That's the point. I know.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Bottom 3. Sorry, man.
Okay, so we have the entire Habs team and apparently members who are not part of the team anymore. Good. I'm glad. Very good. All right, so last week's fumble of the week was a doozy. Who do you have for this week's fumble of the week?
Fumble of the week is frustrating, really annoying, and it served no purpose. It is Josh Anderson fighting Milan Lucic. Why would you do that? Why would a power forward like Josh Anderson in a game where we desperately need goals, go and goon himself up and just drop himself down to the level of a Milan Lucic. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of talent. And if you need a fight to provoke a spark, your model's wrong. You're doing it wrong. It's not the right thing to do. And you're not the right person to be fighting. I hate seeing people who can score goals fight, because the last thing you need is you break your hand and something goes wrong. Look at poor Ben Sherratt, right? Like we're lucky in that Ben Sherratt's not a key cog on our offense, and that's our trouble right now. He's still sad he's gone. It's still awful. But if that happens to Josh Anderson, we're dead in the water. Furthermore, if you watch that fight, Anderson's helmet came off right away, and they still let Milan Lucic with his helmet on throw punches at his head. You're going to risk CTE over this? Just stop it. So, Josh Anderson, we need you to score goals. We don't need you to fight. Just don't fight.
Okay, but I have a question about that. I agree with you, but I do have a question about that. That was the second game in a row, Ben Sherratt, then Josh, where both of them sparked the team, and the team proceeded to score goals after the fight.
There is no way this team would have ever scored a goal without that fight. Yeah.
So
no.
I know, but
you know who doesn't need a fight to score a goal?
Josh Anderson. Who? Jack Eichel. Yeah. Okay. Keep dreaming now. You tell me I dream about all the players I want. Okay.
I know you're the one with the outlandish trade proposals normally, and I'm like the level-headed one. I just see Buffalo. I see sharks swimming in the water in Buffalo, and I figure, hey, let's go for it. You know.
I'm totally down for trading for him. I don't know how.
We're gonna get Kyle Opozo. Watch.
Hi, Kyle. You want to come on our podcast? We'll be nice to you. We promise.
Everyone says he's like a consummate pro and gentleman. Actually, yeah.
I like
Kyle. Like apparently he's got a really good reputation.
So maybe we will get him. We'll get some washed up player. We won't get anybody good because we don't. But except when we got Vanek, that was great.
Remember the Vanek trade?
I do. I was getting a pedicure and I was like freaking out in the chair.
It's funny. Someone on Twitter, I forget who, but we were talking yesterday or 2 days ago about terrible hockey takes and things you believed, and that just made me think about it. I believed Sebastian Kohlberg was gonna like the real deal. Like he was gonna be awesome.
Me too.
Oh man.
I was sad when he got traded. I was like, really? We gave up Kohlberg? Or we gave up anybody but Kohlberg? Oops, bye. See you later. Yeah. Oh god.
It turned out it was worth it. We had a good playoff run. It was fun. Yeah,
he was great. Okay, so we're taking out the rant this week because, well, this whole thing's been a rant. We apologize, everybody. So it's time for my hottie of the week. Noah, do you have any guesses as to who it could be?
Normally, I'd guess Ben Sherratt, but I feel like that's a trap, and so you've picked somebody else.
He is very hot, Ben Sherratt. It even hashtag hot Sherratt. However, no, I'm not going with him today, even though he's hurt. I hope you feel better soon, Ben. I hope your hand's healing, well, ASAP, because please come back to save us. No, today I am dedicating it to another former player. He's adorable. Ooh. Yes, I have loved him for a very long time just because he's so cute and good, but so cute. This one goes out to Patrick Sharp.
Patrick Sharp is a very good-looking man. I definitely am jealous of his chiseled features.
Oh, he's so cute, and I am such a fan, possibly because he's so hot. But I like the Blackhawks. Probably the reason why I like the Blackhawks, just because he's so good-looking, and like, God, he's so good-looking. He's just so cute. So,
he's on the NHL Network now, I think, right? He does commentating. Like, he's got a face made for TV, and he looks good doing it.
I know. Every time I see him there, I'm like, okay, I'll watch the game just to watch him because I don't really care about the game.
I think that's a great pick. I thoroughly approve of reminiscing about Patrick Sharp for a little bit there.
So 2 for 2 with Muller and Sharp. Go me.
I haven't disagreed with you yet, so we're 2 for 2. That's awesome.
Wait till next week. Just kidding. Maybe not. All right. So Noah, you know what? I'm going to let you wrap up because I don't really have much to say except go and get your shot. Follow us on all of our social media at FumblePuckPod. Please let us know what you like or dislike or give us your feedback, your comments. Tell all your friends, every single one of them, even people who don't like hockey, tell them how awesome I am, and Noah, of course, and how great our podcast is and how they need to get in and listen to this. And we're on every single, well, clearly if you're listening to this, you figured this out already, but we're on Apple and Spotify and a bunch of other podcast services. Again, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. You can find us anywhere, everywhere, any time of day, any day of the week. Tweet us at FumblePuckPod. Our individual handles are up on there too. And thank you for listening. And Noah, take it away.
I'm going to wrap it up with my Christmas is this week. My Christmas is St. Patrick's Day. It's my favorite day of the year. We were robbed of it last year because everything was hectic. Instead of celebrating St. Patrick's Day, I was terrified of losing my job. We were freaking out, losing staff, losing good people, shutting down the restaurant. It was crazy. And so this year, my little moment in hospitality, I want to shout out. I hope everyone enjoys their St. Patrick's Day this year. I hope that there's a little bit of control in your life that you can enjoy it. I will be cheersing at home. I'm not going out to a bar. If you choose to go out, if your region allows you, please do it safely. Please treat your serving staff with respect. It's a stressful time to serve on St. Patrick's Day, and it's not. They're not allowed to party it up with you guys as much as they normally would in prior years. Have fun, be safe, and crack a Guinness. Have a good time. That's all I want to say. It's the best day of the year. I'm excited to catch up on the St. Patrick's Day that I missed last year. So cheers, everybody. Hope you have a great week.